Hello, my high priestess key 333 family. That's what I was trying to say in the place to be, honey. All right. For the one, two, and the three, the knowledge, the understanding, and the wisdom family that I'm coming to give you guys through the divination of the cards with my ancestors. This is just a quick message for the air element. Now, you can anyone can resonate with air element. You could be going through any chaos challenges right now, the chaotic energy that we have going on in the planetary alignment. Majority of anyone that I know and talk to right now has some type of energy that they feel that is very chaotic, very air element, right? And the air element also goes back to the mental, the mind. Okay. So right now it is a lot going around the air element where mind control, first and foremost, right? Secondly, mental instability, your mental well being, your emotions affecting your thoughts and your mind. So if you resonate with that in any way, then at this point you can resonate with these air element messages. Okay. But also know that my Geminis, which a lot of the planetary alignment is in Gemini right now, right? Although they'll tell you other things. But Gemini is very prominent right now. So that's the air element I'm speaking. I mean, that's the those that are in that zodiac can resonate more to these messages. Libra and Aquarius. All right. So let's get to it. Let's get to the messages for my air element ancestors. Air element messages, please. Air. Air element messages, please. Air. What is it that they need to know at this time? Speak through the divination of the cards, ancestors, right here, right now. Thank you for the messages that my air element will receive. Ashe. Yeah. Aquarius. Very strong element of your sign came out in reference of the law of attraction, but also of endurance, right? And so what that lets me know is right now, what you're enduring is based off of what you could attract. So you have to be very careful at what you're doing right now in life and what you are attracting. But you know what? The ancestors gave y'all the God body. The element of air right now is a spiritual energy around it. My spiritual beings that are non-ether, that resonate with the air element right now, the ancestors say your spiritual gifts are heightening. You're ascending. This is the time for you to be tapping in, air element. This is a time for, because the law of cause and effect is low vibrational energy, but also um, things that maybe you've caused that could be affecting your life in some type of way, right? Where it's making you feel like you regret doing some things, or you worry about things, or you're in fear of something, or you trying to figure out how to sacrifice some things, maybe even around your living conditions, and you're just in, maybe even a depressive type state or mode because of all the conflict and the chaos and the challenges and the competition that you have faced. But and even changes in your family situations, okay? This is the air element, and those are some of the things that you face right now, right? And so it is, and the ancestors is showing you're still trying to come out of that, right? You're still trying to combat. I just talked about that. The spiritual warfare that the spiritual beings are going through right now is cosmic, right? So it's more or less like a supernatural type thing. But the ancestors say overall, it's the air element. It's the good against evil right now. It's a spiritual war right now, family, and it's real, even in the message that came out here. And like I said, that's why ancestors gave me on your soul right now. It's about you being the alchemist. It's about you knowing you are the magician. It's about you being able to work with that air element, the mind, right? And knowing that everything is mental. All is mental. That's the first universal law. So once you conquer that, don't allow those to take over your mind, and for you to also do things that's going to heighten your mindset or your perception of the things at this time of what you're going through. Don't sulk into the sorrows, the regrets, and the things that you may have caused that could be affecting your life in some way, but you must be focused, right? You must understand this is a transformation for you, a transition, right? And the ancestors say, whatever it is, you're focused on that transformation, okay? And you're going to have a lot of help, okay? That's what the ancestors is showing. You're going to have a lot of help. The helpful benefactors are coming in for you, helpful people that's going to be able to help you in your community in some shape, form, or fashion, or people that's around you, family, friends. That's here, okay? Also, I want to say for those air signs that resonate with this message, such as like my Aquarius, my Geminis, and my Libras, and if you're in the true sidereal, right, which this is for, right, the true sidereal is in Gemini energy. So happy birthday to all my Gemini sons, because I'm a Gemini son in the true sidereal. But the ancestors just say, you know, right now for this air element, it's all about transformation. You must work with the gibbous waxing phase that's getting ready to come up for headed into the full moon. Okay, that is the phase that the ancestors is pointing out for you as an air element to combat this negative energy that you could be dealing with, or any confusion or anything like that mentally that may have your mind not on time. This is what the ancestors is saying right now. Ancestors say, when you work with that moon energy, you understand that this is a transformation in your life in some way, and that what you're enduring is, some of you are enduring going through some things that are, you know, the polarity, right? Because the law of polarity is in on that Aquarius, okay? And knowing that you're dealing with the opposites, okay? You're dealing with the negative, right? So this is what the air element is enduring right now. If you are doing all the good, you're dealing with a lot of bad, right? Because I talked about this in my spiritual warfare episode that I did this morning about how darkness attracts the light. So this is what's happening. And that happens in reference of humanity all the way around is being attacked, okay? The demonic forces is at work very strongly, as well as even spiritually, personally, you could be fighting against your spirituality in the flesh. I'm sorry, sexuality and versus or rules the flesh. So you could be fighting against, you know, your lusts. Okay, you could be fighting against doing the right thing. You know, paying it forward, putting out good karma. You could be, you know, dealing with those aspects of things in life. But the ancestors say, no, stay focused. And what just came up on my phone in reference of the affirmation, I am treasured for who I really am. I am treasured for who I really am. So this may be an affirmation for you to say, I am treasured for who I really am. So you can see it like that, right? So that could be an affirmation when you need to say. But the law of compensation is what you really focus on. You really focus on, for my air element, in reference of changing or getting to the money. And the ancestors say right now is a big time where your money is changing. Okay. And it looks like it's changing for the positive. But you have a lot, it definitely comes into play around what we just had, which was the crescent waning. But not only that, that crescent waxing, the ancestors say, work with that energy, air element that's coming towards this full moon. Utilize your smoky quartz, your pyrites, your rosemaries, in reference of, those was the crystals. Utilize your rosemary, your, I'm gonna just say rosemary. I'm gonna just say rosemary because that's all I, you know, I really feel in my spirit. Work with those going into the full moon, okay? Rosemary is used for protection, many of things, right? So utilize that. And then smoky quartz is definitely used for a lot of different things going into, look it up, family, right? I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I always tell you guys about the crystals and the herbs. Do your own due diligence on that. But it's definitely some energy of things turning, okay? And it's all about you staying, operating out of integrity. I can't say it no more every time, right? Continue. And Aquarius, is a lot of energy here all over this spread about you. Okay. So if this is, excuse me, if you're listening to this message as an Aquarius, please, okay, operate out of integrity, stay divine, be divinely guided, and know that you're transforming. Okay. Because that's the overall energy. You're about to get some help. Something's about to come in for you. I'm seeing family abundance. I'm seeing marriage. I'm seeing many things. Fertility, which is all about either if you're trying to have a baby, it's definitely getting ready to happen. But if you are trying to get to the money, I see that happening as well. Okay, and I definitely see that, you know, Ancestors is saying there's some things that's about to start happening for you. You just have to stay confident, stay encouraged, stay empowered. Ask for that, right? But overall, answers is like your spiritual gifts. I'm also seeing that, you know, you just have to know, for my high priestesses and my high priestess out there, right, with this air element, you need to know that you are a powerful force and what's to come. Yeah. You know, this is all about a time where you're coming out of, you're coming out of inner, the answers say it all over again. You're coming out of in a dark period you have been going through, even around your finances, even around ancestors say work with your ancestors, work with them, work with your ancestors, okay? But this time right here is a time where you're coming, it looks like you're coming out of some things that may have been, you know, causing you some type of pain around your home life, you know what I mean? Because this is what it's showing. I'm also seeing, you know, the answers is telling you your spiritual gifts, that whatever you were going through was for a very short period of time. You're about to receive, right? And ancestors just want you to know, air element, to use your gifts, utilize your gifts. That's how you're going to prosper. That's where your wealth, that's where your knowledge, that's where everything is for you, is you're in your gifts. Ancestors say, and you know, in reference of crystals, again, I have black tourmaline, citrine, pyrite, smoky quartz, I told you, right? Hematite, all these things. And then you work with cloves and burdock, okay? And what else I told you? Rosemary, okay? Those are some of the herbs that the ancestors is telling you to use. What you're enduring, don't allow people to use you, okay? Because people will try to use you, bribe you, in many ways. And conquer your fears, conquer any deception that you may be facing, as well as, you know, people seeking you out to take care of their pleasures, whether that's sexual, physical, or whatever. Leave that behind. Right now, it's about you trying to educate yourself. You know, get out, do those classes, do whatever it is to educate yourself. Some of you, this is about you trying to conquer something that has to do with your appearance, your beauty, or something like that. Maybe something you want to change about yourself, even, you know, your weight, right? And so the answers to say, now is the time for you to work on that. All right. This is the time for you to work on that. And for some of you, this is coming in to tell you if some of you air element had chaos and conflict around some type of home situation, whether you was wanting to move or something of that sort, it looks like it's coming to fruition. If you had any type of expenses that needed to be paid or something of that sort, like medical expenses, home expenses, you know, things around the house, you know, rent, whatever. It looks like things are going to come through for you, you know, as long as you stay in divine, right? And you operate out of integrity. That's what the ancestors keep saying over and over and over. You will be provided for. Educational costs, things, anything like that, right? And also ancestors say, make sure you get your eyes checked as well. Make sure you're getting your eyes checked and your respiratory system. Anyone who's having things happening in reference of your respiratory, now is the time for you to pay attention to that. Go to the doctor or whatever. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just telling you what the answers is throwing out. Your nose, okay? You could have some type of allergies right now with respiratory. Make sure you stay on top of that, and you stay on top of your vision. Okay, something about your vision. Maybe it's time for you to get eye exam. Okay, you could be having challenges with your eyes. You know, I don't know, but that's what ancestors is saying here. Work with your ancestors. Remember, good and bad, right? It does not matter. because you need those good ones to help you to stay divine, and you need the bad ones, a reference of protection. So make sure you're doing your due diligence. And air element, this is your message. The things that you have caused, there is definitely going to be, you definitely can heal those things right now for yourself. It's like the death of trauma for you. It's the ending of coming out of the dark night of the soul, but also being that you went through all of this darkness so far, you have elevated on spiritually on a different level. You're healing, right? And so the ancestors are saying right now you're a spiritual healer for yourself as well as for others. So right now it's all about, and you're very connected right now to the deceased, to the ancestors. So now it's the time for you to be tapping in and asking the ancestors for mercy, asking the ancestors to, you repent of your sins and to give me, have mercy over my soul and understanding and forgiveness, ancestors. These are the things that you should be saying to bring you out of that conflict, challenges, and competition. Okay. So this is all that the ancestors is saying. Be mindful and look at everything on a different perspective, right? Bird's eye view, to look down and be able to see what it is that's going to bring you up to your highest good and raise your vibrations at all time. Laughter, joy, these things, right? This will all help you with changing and shifting that energy. Make sure you're praying, you're meditating, you doing your ancestor work. That energy work changes things, family. All right. So much love to you, air signs or air element as well. And I will see you guys soon. Hit the like button. Peace. Peace.